Basically, Giant Bomb has been through a bit of a roller coaster because what's been happening now has been the fact that, like, the website gets bought, it gets sold, it gets bought, it gets sold, it gets bought, and it gets sold. It's been happening quite a bit lately, and especially this last sort of couple of transactions have been quite notable for a number of reasons, basically. So, I know that a lot of people don't really care about gaming publications all that much, but now Giant Bomb is no longer under a company, and in fact, some of the people who used to work at Giant Bomb, which, for spoiler's sake, do now actually own Giant Bomb by purchasing Giant Bomb, are actually making their own, like, they left Giant Bomb after the last transaction, and they are now returning to Giant Bomb by buying Giant Bomb, and now Giant Bomb is kind of becoming more of like a, as much as I want to say independent, like one of those ones where you go on Patreon to support them from a financial perspective, but at the same time they'll keep running the site while making videos on YouTube and things like that. That's basically what it seems like when it comes to Giant Bomb continually doing their thing. Like, that's what it feels like. And I know a lot of publications, like, you look at your IGNs, you look at your GameSpot, you look at other websites as like the worst thing that could ever happen because of activism in gaming journalism, and the fact that gaming journalism is like a word that's very much a dirty word in the whole sort of industry. In the gaming space, people don't like people who work there because it gives them a platform to just start talking about random junk that doesn't really matter all that much. And unfortunately, when you try to stick to gaming as much as you can, sometimes external forces do seep in from time to time. But with Giant Bomb's case in particular, it's quite interesting. Basically, what's happened is that Giant Bomb was sold to Fandom, and Fandom, if you don't know, is a pretty rubbish group of sites, if I'm being completely honest. Like, it sucks. But sometimes I do see fan wikis every now and again, but the amount of ads, there are a lot of them. And the thing is that what they try and do is collect on the ad revenue of those wiki sites. And so if you visit, they'll make some money off you, and then the more people continue to visit, the more money that Fandom will try to make off of the ads from that site. But thankfully, if you're level-headed enough, you'll probably have an ad block that actually stops all of these ads from popping up. But yeah, so it was sold by Fandom to Giant Bomb staff, and will continue independently. So more specifically, announced during the group's PAX East panel, the site has been sold by Fandom to longtime staffers Jeff Grubb, Jeff Bakalar, Dan Reichart, Mike Minardi, and Jan Ocha. Basically, these guys actually left Giant Bomb after the last transaction, when Giant Bomb was actually sold to Fandom. And I don't know what Giant Bomb's parent company was prior to that, but basically these guys here, like Jeff Grubb for example, that's a name people should have heard of because he does a lot of, I wouldn't say leaking, but he does give out a lot of like sort of backdoor information when it comes to games. Dan Reichart, Mike Minardi are a couple more names that I've heard of, but I don't know too much about them because I don't really watch Giant Bomb all that much. But yeah, Giant Bomb is now owned by the people who make Giant Bomb, and it would not have been possible without the speedy efforts of Fandom and our mutual agreement on what's best for fans and creators, said Jeff Grubb and Jeff Bakalar in a joint statement. The future of Giant Bomb is now in the hands of our supporting community, who have always had our back no matter what. We'll have a lot more to say about what this looks like soon, but for now everyone can trust that all the support we receive goes directly into this team. And I didn't make a video about Giant Bomb being sold because it wasn't as noteworthy news as one might think of it, because this sort of thing happens way too much. But why I'm making a video now about it is because it's very interesting that it's being sold to the guys who used to work there, and these are also some of the more high profile individuals that worked at Giant Bomb prior to their departure. So yeah, Giant Bomb will now focus on subscriptions, raised from $5 to $10, as that money goes to us now, according to Grubb. And then Fandom had their own statement, interestingly enough. Fandom has made the strategic decision to transition Giant Bomb back to its independent roots, and the brand has been acquired by longtime staffers and content creators, Jeff Bakalar and Jeff Grubb, who now own and operate the site independently. Fans are at the core of everything we do at Fandom, and we're committed to not only serving them but also supporting the creators they love, and the sale of Giant Bomb represents a natural extension of that mission. We're confident Giant Bomb is in good hands and its legacy will live on with Jeff and Jeff. I feel like they really wanted to say that, Jeff and Jeff. But yeah, financial details weren't disclosed, of course. But yeah, the 888th episode of the Giant Bombcast, long-running video game podcast, was published and then removed, and I'm pretty sure it's going to return at some point. But yeah, so there has also been some hints of it, like Rykart insinuating that on the same stream he's going to continue doing what he loves. So that's a little something right there as a bit of a tidbit. But so I guess conversations were happening even before Giant Bomb was sold to Fandom, and this could have also been a way for these longtime staffers to get a hold of the Giant Bomb site. So who knows how much that would have cost. But I'm pretty sure they make decent money because Giant Bomb does have a lot of, how would I say, a lot of fans. So I suppose that shouldn't be any sort of surprise. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about all of this in the comments below, because I'm interested. Do any of you guys actually consider, you know, Patreon or publications or, you know, so those independent sites or anything like that? I'd be interested to know, because gaming news as a whole is kind of all over the place, and people are more likely now to go to YouTube rather than any of the big sites for gaming news. And so that's partly why I do gaming news, because I talk about the things that I want to talk about. But like, I guess what makes you want to come back to gaming news on YouTube versus other sites? Because again, people don't like other sites, and it seems like it's a majority, but you really don't know until you ask. So I'd be interested to know what you guys have to say about that. But with all that being said, however, again, like I said, comment below, like the video if you liked it, subscribe to the channel. I'm aiming for 500 subs by the end of the year. With all that being said, I do upload every day, so I'll see you guys tomorrow.